Good morning, wealth builders. This is Ravi Gabis. Welcome back to the Gabis Show, where we unlock the real secrets of wealth in the United States every single day. It's Monday morning, the beginning of the week. Last time we talked about how to create results. Uh, what so I told you that your result is always a sequence of your actions. And sometimes you even know what you need to do to get the result you want, but some kind of barrier appears in front of you. So you understand, I need to call that guy and I will achieve my goal. But no, you take the phone and you start scrolling instead of calling. Or important meeting, you just escape it. Or you don't join the meeting where you can find people who would help you to achieve your goal. Why this happens? Because there are some kind of mental blocks that stop you from achieving your results. Because I told you that your action is always a sequence of your potential, and your potential is a sequence of how you think, the level of beliefs. So if you don't do something in your life, I want you to understand this. It's very important. If you don't do something in your life, it means that there is something in your mind that blocks your action. So your result is always a sequence of your action, and your action is determined by the way you think. And if you don't do something or you do something, it means that there is something in your brain that let you do something or doesn't let you do something. And if you don't do, you kind of get zero result. It's also a result, and your action is not acting. And you don't act because there's something in your mind. So barrier exists only in your mind, and that's the place where you should work, where you should find that barrier. Okay, let's talk about that. It's very important, actually. It's very important. This show is about money, but you can't earn money, you can't create wealth until you figure out what's happening in your brain. Okay, what's your favorite barrier? Why don't you do in your life? Let's take the simplest one. The simplest barrier I often hear from people, they say, I don't start my business because I don't know how. I don't start investing because I don't know how. Who has such kind of thing in your mind? It's absolutely normal. Most of people believe that it's their main barrier. I don't know how. I would do this, I would have done this a long time ago if I knew how, but I don't know how. Okay, what's the next barrier? Maybe this one is maybe the most favorite, I guess. For example, you understand that you need to shoot a video for your YouTube account, but you prefer scrolling, or you prefer just lying on a couch and watching YouTube channel. So, and how do we call this process? Laziness. One of the favorite barriers in our mind, laziness. And by the way, if we say that you don't do, so laziness is not doing. You don't do what you should do. Then it means that there is some kind of thought in your mind that blocks your action. And when you're lazy, what do you think? What's the first thought that comes into your mind when you don't want to do something? Just think about that. So, for example, let's take the simplest example. Your partner asks you to throw out the garbage. And what do you say? You say, I'm busy, or I have other things to do. But between this phrase and her desire, there's something in the middle. That little thought that really blocks everything. And analyzing a lot of people, working with thousands of people, we came to conclusion that that thought is, I don't want to. So, for example, your alarm is ringing, you hear it, you take the phone, and the first thought, I don't want to. And then you push the button, and you think kind of, oh, there is still enough time, I have 30 more minutes, or it's too cold today, or maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but the first thought that blocks your action is I don't want to. Okay, what else? Why else we don't act in our lives? Self-doubt. Yeah? What's self-doubt? Kind of I can't do this. Yeah, so you focus on yourself. You say that you're not capable of this. You're not good enough. For example, kind of, you know, there is another barrier, fear. Yeah, fear. Fear is when you expect something bad to happen. You say, I will start a company, but I will hire employees, but they will steal my money. They will cheat me. They will not do the work at the best level that I want them to do. Or I will start the production, but I will fail. I will start investing, but I will lose my capital. So because why I will lose my capital? Because crash will happen on the stock market, or housing market will crash, or competitors with kind of use some bad techniques to deal with me. They will spread lies about me online. So you're expecting something bad to happen. That's what that you can't control. Yeah, it's fear. But and when we're talking about self-doubt, it's something about in you. So you kind of think, oh, I'm not capable of this. I would start investing, but I will fail because I'm not brave enough. I don't know the technical analysis, you know. So what do we have? We have I don't know how. We have laziness. We have fear, fear that something will happen out of your control, and self-doubt that you can't. So that thing is about you. Focus on you. So we have 4 barriers, and now let me give you one little task. Just write a list, or try to do it mentally if you don't have that opportunity. Maybe you're driving or something like that. If you have an opportunity to write it down, just write it down on the paper, or maybe in your notebook on your smartphone. Write a list of barriers. I don't know how, laziness, fear, and self-doubt. Actually, this is what blocks you from achieving results in your life. And these 4 things actually are 100% of barriers in your life. This is what stops you. Just imagine the situation. So what does it mean? It means that if it's ideally spread, it means that you have 25% of I don't know how, 25% of self-doubt, 25% of laziness, and 25% of fear. But actually, usually it doesn't work in that ideal way. And together it's 100%. 25, 25, 25, 25, 100%. How it works in your life. I want you to write that down. Or maybe just try to do it mentally. For example, we say, okay, I don't know how. I have 30% of barriers here. In 30% of situations, I don't do because I don't know how. Okay, laziness. Oh, I'm very disciplined, and I have 15% in laziness. Okay, self-doubt. Oh, self-doubt. Yeah, sometimes I have self-doubt. Let's say 40%. Yeah, 40%. Fear. Yeah, sometimes I'm afraid of sequences, and it's kind of 10%. And together it will be 100%. So do this. Maybe even pause the video and do this exercise. It's crucially important because these are the only things that stop you in your life from achieving results. If you've done this, very good. Let's discuss how it works. For example, I noticed that most of people choose I don't know how as at the biggest barrier in their lives. If it's your case, just answer the very simple question. And what if your main barrier, if I don't know how, what stops you from getting to know how? Just think about that. Maybe you're just lazy, or you don't believe in yourself, or you're afraid of something. Because today, when we have internet, when we have Instagram, social networks, when we have ChatGPT. The problem of knowing how does not exist. If you don't know how, just go and ask from someone. Come to the Academy of Financial Growth. Come to me, I'll teach you. Yeah, for money. Go to free communities and ask them. Join different clubs. Ask them. Ask ChatGPT, he will help you. There is not, the problem of knowing how does not exist today. It's a global world. It's internet, Google. Therefore, I want you to do the following. Just erase this item from the list. Erase, I don't know how, and take the percentage that you have here and spread it between the remaining items in the list. So if you had 30% here, I don't know how, just add 10% everywhere. 10% to self-doubt, more 10% to laziness, and more 10% to fear. Okay, let's move forward. Who has something in laziness? Question. What do you hide behind the laziness? Because laziness is not doing something. And when you don't do something, the thought is, I don't want. Yeah? Why usually people do not want to do something? When they're tired. Yeah, it's absolutely okay. When you're tired, you need rest, because the only way to achieve results is through using your body. You can't achieve results without your body. You live in your body, and if you want to get results, you need to use your arms, your eyes, your brain, your mouth. You need to type something, you need to call someone, you need to use your legs, you need to go somewhere, you need to use your biceps. So you can't achieve results without your body. And body, it's kind of something that can be tired. And when it's tired, you need to have a rest. Just you want to sleep, for example, you just close your eyes, and you fall asleep, and that's it. Yeah, you need that rest. But imagine the situation. Let me tell you one story. I had friends of mine. They are a family of entrepreneurs, and they were looking for investments. They needed $1 million. So a husband, they were living in a small town. He went to a big city, let's say to New York, and he planned several meetings, maybe 10 or 15 meetings with investors. The very first day when he came to New York, he went to 3 meetings. Unfortunately, everybody refused. Then he came to the hotel. He put his stuff, and he just laid on the bed. He was exhausted. It was a long flight from their small town to New York. He had 3 meetings, not successful meetings at the same time. He was tired, both physically and emotionally. He was lying there on the bed. He was just staring on the ceiling. And he had 4 more meetings that day. He told me that story, but he felt that there is no way that he'll be able to accomplish those meetings. At that moment, the phone is ringing. Using his last resources, he answers the phone, and it is his wife. And he tells him, hi, darling, I have good news for you. Come back home. He says, I can't come back home. I've just come here. I have 3 more days of meetings, important people, important meetings. We need money. And she says, forget about that. I've just visited Walmart, and I bought lottery tickets, and we won $2 million. $2 million. He says, are you kidding me? She says, no, for sure, for real. We have money, even after taxes. And what happens to him? He jumps up. He says, okay, I can't come. I have more meetings, sorry, but I'm so happy. So he hang up. He goes to the shower. He puts on his best suit. He goes to the meetings the next day, the third day, and he managed to collect around $600,000 somehow. Yeah. And then he's coming back home, happy. Now they have $2.6 million. And he comes home, he enters his house, and his wife is greeting him, and she looks very pity, and she says immediately, sorry, darling, we didn't win any lotteries. I just wanted to support you. Question: what happened to that guy when he was lying on his bed, powerless? What happened to him after his wife's call? So he was exhausted, he was tired, his body was exhausted. But when his wife called him, all that fatigue disappeared, because it was fear. It was fear of rejection. He had 3 rejections already. He just come to the city and they refused. And he didn't want to hear any those rejections anymore. And that was the reason of his fatigue, of his laziness, of not desiring to do, to commit, to act. There isn't such a barrier as a laziness. It does not exist. Such as procrastination, it does not exist. It's just a fear of failure. That's why erase that from the list. Erase laziness. And the percentage that you had there, spread it between the remaining 2, between the fear and self-doubt. I think it gets more and more interesting. Now, who has everything in self-doubt? What does it mean, self-doubt? It's when you start telling yourself why you can't achieve the result. For example, you start telling a story. I can't succeed because I don't have college education. I don't have a master degree. My relatives is from the village. Okay, that guy, he can, because his parents from New York City, he was born here, and I'm a foreigner. I came from Congo. I came from, I don't know, Russia. I came from Ukraine. I'm a poor guy. I don't know the language. So you tell yourself that you're afraid that you can't succeed because of blah, 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 blah. It's a fear of failure. It's the same fear. So erase self-doubt. And what you had there, put it on the remaining 1. And what do we have? What stops you? What blocks your action? The only thing that does not let you achieve result that you want to have in your life is this. It's fear. And as long as this fear is in you, you won't be able to move. You won't be able to break away, because it's controlling your life. It's burning you from inside. They say that from someone that he's burning out his life because his life is under control of the fear. Fear is controlling his life. And if you want to achieve your results in life, the results that you want to have, you need to learn how to deal with this fear. You need to break this fear. You know, it's not very popular to talk about fear because everybody wants to look brave. That's why people don't even want to see that fear. They don't want to recognize it. They hide it from themselves. And is it an efficient way of acting? Hiding your fear from yourself? No. Because if you don't see it, you can't work with it, and you will never get the results until it lives in you. What to do with that fear? There are a lot of different ways how to work with fear. Some people go to therapists. They're trying to find out when it appeared in their lives, what was the reason of that fear. But the most efficient way to deal with fear is facing it. So you're afraid of something, you just go and do it. You're afraid to start a business, you just go and do it. How? I don't know how to start a business. Really? You don't know how? Internet, ChatGPT, people around you, business clubs, other stuff, a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of things, books. It's not a fear. I have already told you. I can give you an example. I have a friend of mine. He's older than me, maybe 20 years older, and he used to be afraid of darkness. He was so much afraid of darkness. The toilet was outside when he was a child, and it was a big deal to visit that toilet when it's dark outside. So what he did, he went to the forest for a week alone. He took a tent and lived there for a week and practiced this several times. And he understood that there is nothing to be afraid of when it's dark. He also was afraid of height. And he joined the club of alpinists. He started visiting mountains. So now he's more than 60 and he's in good shape, and he goes to mountains every single year. So the best way to deal with your fear is to confront it, to face your fear, and then it will just disappear. And it's very useful sometimes to analyze the things that you don't do in your life. If you don't do it, something blocks you. And the only thing that blocks you is your fear. Nothing else. And if you don't do something, the best option is just focus your attention in that direction and just start doing the things that you're afraid of, because that's the place where you will grow, where your results are hidden. Okay, I think that's enough for today. It was a while. I think tomorrow we will talk about some other things. I want to give you the topic of money management, how to save money regardless of how much money you make. But it's going to be tomorrow. For today, it's enough. Have a good one. See you.